When do we become a memory? If you do not remember us, do we cease to exist? I recently read an article by author and critic Seth Rodney about the African-American artist Jennifer Packer and her recent exhibition at the Whitney Museum entitled Jennifer Packer, The Eye is Not Satisfied with Seeing. According to Rodney, we experience a seesawing between observation and imagination, as Packer simultaneously highlights and obscures the nuances of Black life, exploring longing, loss, and wonderment while honoring the named and unnamed. Her paintings, he argues, demand that we look by losing a color or a body part or even a person, by what they include and exclude, by forcing the viewer to complete the piece's visual and emotional puzzle. What is my responsibility to see? Asks Rodney. Who will hold us accountable when we fail in this very basic duty? I felt like he was talking to me. For the past 19 years, I've been telling the story of my parents on the land in juxtaposition to a narrative of nature that has not and does not always see them, a narrative of environmental longing and belonging that has neglected to consider a darker wilderness. I've been telling the story of a Black experience with all things green, colored by an American history of extraction, exploitation, and erasure, in a country where love of land and of each other could cost you. And yet, you love anyway. There's a black and white photograph of my mother. It is 1958, and she is kneeling by a pond on a 12-acre property in New York that she and my father will never own, but that will become their legacy. My parents left their home in Virginia, a southern state that could not see past their black skin in any way that mattered, and traveled to New York to find jobs and perhaps a place that might welcome them as whole beings with dreams and potential. They left behind a past that was filled not only with the pain of limitations forced on them by others, but with family, the familiar, and the memories that had stoked their dreams. My father was offered a job as a gardener and chauffeur for a wealthy family who needed full-time caretakers to live on their estate, and he accepted the position. For the next 50 years, my parents would be the only Black people to live in that affluent neighborhood, and, to my knowledge, the only people there who did not own the land they called home. When I stare at the picture of my mother kneeling in the sun in this new place for the first time, this home but not home, I wonder if she was seeking her own reflection in the pond.